It's that time, Weather for Weather Geeks time, Tuesday evening edition here on the 23rd day of May. Only about a week or so left in meteorological spring. March, April, and May. Meteorological summer begins June 1st. Also the start of hurricane season officially, June 1st in the Atlantic Basin. Not much of a concern around here, but June 1st also significant for that reason. So that's coming up in about a week. Let's review where we've been so far in May through 23 days. Of course, a very, very cool start to the month. The first half of the month was cool, and then like flipping a switch as we got into the second half of May, as you can see on the 16th, we got into a warmer pattern. And we've been there for about a week or so. Only one cooler than average day in this pattern, and that, of course, was yesterday. But today we got to 73 actually was the number at the airport. I should correct that. But either way, it was warmer than average. For the month so far, we are 1 degree below the average. And I still suspect that May will go into the record books as a slightly cooler than average month, based on our forecast for the rest of the month. A mild couple of days for the holiday weekend, but overall, this is not exactly a real toasty pattern. Wrapping up meteorological spring and heading into summer. We'll talk about the longer range coming up in just a second. All right, when I recorded Weather Geeks this evening, here's what the radar and satellite looked like. Actually, lightning strike being picked up there in southeast Ohio. A little bit of rain trying to sneak up into the panhandle of West Virginia here at 7:37 this evening. Most of it is to the south and east, but I'm expecting the radar to kind of fill in across eastern Ohio and western PA as we go through the night. As you can see, our high-res Futurecast model here has a pretty good handle on where the rain is, how intense or not intense it is. It keeps it coming north as we go through the night, and by 4 or 5 o'clock, I think, most places will see a little bit of rain. And so if you're an early riser on a Wednesday morning, you can expect a little bit of wet weather. And yeah, tomorrow's been trending wetter on the modeling over the last 12 to 18 hours. So while it's not a washout tomorrow, we're going to allow for showers at any point, not just the afternoon now, but at any point on Wednesday. That's been kind of a recent development as the models have latched on to the idea that this moisture will kind of become entrenched tomorrow. Now, it's not a soaker tomorrow. A lot of the rain's going to be pretty light, but as you can see, as we get into the afternoon, some green specks around. There'll be some light rain or drizzle or a couple of showers around. Same holds true for Wednesday night and right into the day on Thursday with this low spinning almost right overhead. There's going to be a dry slot occasionally, and then occasionally some showers are going to pivot in, so we're going to need that wet weather gear for the next couple of days. Now, Friday is kind of a tricky call. I think the best chance for a shower is pretty early in the day Friday, but as you can see, by midday, we're probably still in a pretty thick veil of clouds. Hopefully, we'll see some of the stratus deck clearing out before the afternoon is through on Friday, squeezing in a little sun before clouds probably roll back in to start the upcoming weekend. All right, rainfall totals for the next 48 hours roughly. Looking like this, pretty good spread on the modeling here, but if you look at all these and take an average, I think that's reasonable at this point, a half an inch to an inch worth of rain, a decent average at this point. So nothing we can't handle, but our lawns are going to get a pretty healthy drink of water. Speaking of water and lawns, last year at this time we were heading into a pretty dry period. It got pretty brown around here late in the spring and early in the summer last year. Not going to happen this year. Everything is pretty lush and pretty green. It should stay that way. All right, our Memorial Day holiday weekend forecast has not changed much since I put this out yesterday. Pretty consistent temperatures, mid-70s, a little above the average. Now, as far as rain goes, if you have outdoor plans this weekend, a lot of people do. Right now, my pick day is Monday, Memorial Day. That's the day I have the lowest chance of showers and thunderstorms. It's not zero, but it's somewhat lower than Saturday or Sunday. There's a chance we might have to up the rain chances, especially on Saturday, as we get a little bit closer. But right now, I've kind of, got things a little bit broad brush. There's some model differences. Some of the modeling suggests Saturday isn't so bad. Some of the modeling has a pretty good rain event for Saturday afternoon. So low confidence still in the details for the holiday weekend, but check the forecast often over the next couple of days, because surely we'll be adjusting this and fine-tuning it, and rain chances are going to go up maybe one day and come down another, and you know how that goes as we get closer. And it's an important weekend for weather. A lot of people get outdoors during Memorial Day weekend. All right, let's talk about the medium and longer range here. I talked about this last evening, but in case you missed it, here's one of our model suites here. This is the American Climate Forecast System model. Showing as we go towards the end of May and into June, not a lot of warmth in our part of the country. Here's the temperature anomalies for the last few days of May, start of June. A lot of blue east of the Rockies, including us. Even though the heart of the colder than average weather may be out west, still, it's going to have a hard time getting pretty warm here, it looks like, early in June. And this is the case right through maybe the first week to 10 days of June. Now, beyond that, the details get a little fuzzy, but, not a lot of pool weather, it looks like, through the first week to 10 days of June. The modeling is pretty consistent on that. What about the summer as a whole? We're going to do a summer forecast towards the middle of next week as we get towards June 1st. But here's what the National Weather Service summer forecast looks like. Equal chances, that's where it says EC, equal chances across the plain states, but favoring warmer weather. Odds are higher of a warmer than average summer than a cooler than average summer, according to the Weather Service, for our region, the East Coast, the Deep South, the Southwest, and really the only places that have equal chances of cool and warm are across the plain states. Now that's one forecast, and our forecast may or may not agree with that. We'll take a look at more information as we get closer to the middle of next week. As far as rainfall goes, the National Weather Service not showing much of a trend here. Equal chances of a wetter than average summer and a drier than average summer. Above average rainfall favored across the Rockies and Plain states. Last summer was the warmest summer we had locally since 1995. It had been 21 years. So I don't think this summer will be as warm as last summer, but will it end up being warmer than average? I think that's a reasonable forecast at this point. But again, I'm going to look at more stuff before the middle of next week, and we'll do an official Storm Tracker 21 summer outlook coming up in about a week. Look for an extended version of that right here on Weather for Weather Geeks. I'll see you tomorrow night for another edition of this video. I hope you'll check out my forecast tonight on 21 News at 11. I'll see you then.